Captain Jason Marlowe adjusted the controls of his small exploration vessel, the Intrepid, as it glided silently through the cold darkness of the Andromeda sector. Stars streaked past like silver threads, but Jason's attention was fixed on a faint distress signal pulsing on his console. He frowned, squinting at the holographic map. The signal was coming from a planet marked as Iridian, uncharted, mysterious, and surrounded by an unusual energy field. Never seen this before, Jason muttered. His fingers danced over the controls, analyzing the signal. Something or someone needs help. And I'm going to find out who. The planet below was unlike any Jason had encountered. Its skies shimmered with violet clouds, and jagged mountains rose like ancient teeth from emerald forests. Strange luminescent rivers snaked through the terrain, glowing softly even under the planet's twin suns. Jason landed his ship in a clearing near what appeared to be a city, but from the distance the structures looked like towers of crystal, glittering and fragile. Jason did not have time to admire the view. The distress signal grew stronger. He climbed down from the ship, his boots crunching on the alien soil, and activated his scanner. The readings indicated massive energy spikes in the city center. Suddenly, the ground shook violently. Jason stumbled but recovered, seeing the source. Enormous flying machines, black and jagged, swooped down from the sky. The Varkari, a hostile alien faction known for destruction and conquest, were attacking. Their machines emitted piercing sounds, firing beams that disintegrated buildings in moments. Jason's heart raced. From the smoke and rubble, a figure appeared, an alien moving gracefully despite the chaos. Jason's breath caught. The being was unlike anything he had seen, tall, with skin that shimmered like liquid silver and eyes that glowed faintly gold. She wore a flowing garment of light material that seemed to move as if alive, and a small glowing emblem on her chest marked her as someone important. Without hesitation, Jason sprinted toward her. Laser beams streaked past, cutting through the air with sizzling energy. He dodged, rolled, and ducked behind a shattered wall. The alien froze, trapped in the open. Jason felt a surge of urgency. "Hold on, I've got you," he shouted, sprinting the final distance. With a calculated leap, he grabbed her hand, pulling her down behind the ruins just as another beam struck the ground where she had stood. The alien's eyes widened in a mixture of fear and surprise. Jason gave a brief, reassuring smile. "You're safe for now." "Thank you," the alien said, her voice musical yet firm. "I am Princess Lyra. You have saved my life." Jason nodded, glancing around. The city was in flames, and more Varkari machines were closing in. "We need to move now." He scanned the terrain quickly and pointed to a narrow canyon leading out of the city. "This way. Follow me." Lyra hesitated only for a moment before trusting him. Together they ran, dodging beams, jumping over debris, and narrowly avoiding collapsing structures. Jason realized that despite the alien's grace, she was strong and brave. She moved with purpose, not panic, and he could see intelligence behind her golden eyes. As they reached the canyon, Jason activated a small device from his utility belt. A holographic map projected in front of him, showing the Varkari fleet in pursuit. "We can't outrun all of them," he said, "but we can use the terrain. These cliffs are too narrow for their machines. We'll have to go on foot from here." Lyra nodded, determination in her eyes. "Lead the way, human." Jason smiled faintly at the title. "That's the first time anyone's called me that out loud." They climbed carefully through the rocky terrain, using natural cover to hide from the Varkari's scanning systems. Jason's mind worked quickly, analyzing the landscape and possible escape routes. He had trained for emergencies, but nothing prepared him for the scale of this alien assault. Yet he felt alive, exhilarated even, as he pushed forward. Hours passed as they navigated the treacherous paths. Jason shared small details about human survival strategies, where to find fresh water, how to avoid dangerous terrain, and the importance of resting strategically. Lyra listened carefully, her golden eyes attentive, and occasionally she offered insights about the planet that Jason could not have known. Together they formed a silent partnership, combining human tactics with Iridian's knowledge of its own land. At one point, a group of Varkari soldiers appeared ahead, guarding a bridge over a glowing river. Jason crouched behind a rock and whispered, "We'll have to distract them." He rummaged through his pack and produced a small energy flare, tossing it toward the far edge of the bridge. The Varkari turned, scanning the disturbance. Jason grabbed Lyra's hand. "Run!" They sprinted across the bridge just as the Varkari realized the trick. Beams fired, missing them by mere inches, splashing into the glowing water below. Jason felt the heat of the energy nearby, adrenaline surging through his veins. He kept moving, guiding Lyra with confidence he barely felt, but that she seemed to trust completely. Finally, they reached a hidden valley, shielded by enormous cliffs and thick vegetation. The Varkari could not follow here. Jason allowed himself a moment to breathe. Lyra collapsed to her knees, panting, but her eyes shone with relief. "You saved me," she said again, this time softer, almost reverently. "I owe you my life, Jason Marlowe." Jason shook his head. "We're not done yet. This is just the beginning, but thanks." He smiled, realizing how unusual it felt to hear a princess, an alien princess no less, say that. Lyra rose, brushing off dust. "I will repay you. Whatever you need, I will stand by your side." Her voice carried a quiet determination that touched Jason. He had faced dangers before, but this was different. He was not just fighting for survival. He was part of something bigger now. As night fell over Iridian, the twin suns setting in violet and gold streaks, Jason and Lyra made camp. Jason activated a small portable shield dome, giving them protection from the planet's nocturnal predators. He cooked a simple ration meal while Lyra observed, fascinated by human methods of survival. "You eat so simply," she remarked, picking at the dried meat and nutrient bars. "And yet you seem strong." Jason laughed softly. "Simple works. You'd be surprised how far humans can go with nothing but brains and courage." Lyra's expression softened. "Perhaps humans are more remarkable than I realized." The night was quiet except for distant sounds of the Varkari machines in the distance. Jason stared at the stars, thinking of the battles ahead, the unknown challenges and the strange destiny that had brought him here. One thing was clear. He would need all his skills, courage, and wits to survive and to keep Lyra safe. "You'll have your chance to repay me, Lyra," he said, leaning back. "But for now, rest. Tomorrow we plan our next move." Lyra nodded, her golden eyes reflecting the faint glow of the twin moons. "I will rest, but I promise, I will make this debt meaningful. I will ensure our victory." Jason smiled faintly, feeling a strange sense of hope. Against overwhelming odds, they had survived. Against the unknown dangers of a hostile galaxy, they had found trust and partnership. And above all, he realized something profound. Humans could make a difference, even among stars and alien worlds. As sleep overtook them, the valley quiet except for the whisper of the wind through glowing trees, Jason Marlowe felt a spark of destiny ignite. He was no longer just a captain exploring space. He was a lifeline, a strategist, and perhaps in some way, a symbol of what humans could achieve. Tomorrow, the battle for Iridian would continue. But tonight, survival was enough. And Jason Marlowe, with an alien princess by his side, had proven that courage, quick thinking, and determination could save a life, even in a galaxy far beyond human reach. The dawn on Iridian was breathtaking. Twin suns rose slowly over the horizon, casting violet and gold streaks across the crystalline city that had survived, or at least partially survived, the Varkari attack. Captain Jason Marlowe stood at the edge of the hidden valley, scanning the terrain with his tactical visor. Every part of this planet was alien, yet he felt a strange thrill at studying it, calculating the best routes and predicting potential threats. Princess Lyra emerged from behind a glowing tree, her silver skin catching the morning light. She carried herself with the same calm confidence that had impressed Jason the day before. "We cannot linger here," she said firmly. "The city may be damaged, but the Varkari will return. We must go to the palace. There is much to discuss, and you must meet the council." Jason raised an eyebrow. "Council? Sounds like I'm about to meet a lot of very important people." Lyra smiled faintly. "You saved me. That makes you very important to us." They traveled carefully through the winding paths of the valley. Jason noted the unusual flora and fauna, trees that pulsed with light, plants that seemed to communicate with subtle color changes, and small animals that moved like liquid silver. The valley was beautiful, but Jason knew beauty did not guarantee safety. Every shadow could hide danger. Every movement could signal an ambush. When they reached the palace, Jason was struck by its grandeur. Though partially damaged by the Varkari attack, the structure shimmered like crystal, towers spiraling into the sky and bridges connecting massive spires. Lyra led him through the grand entrance where the air hummed with energy from protective shields. In the council chamber, alien leaders waited. Tall, elegant beings, each with unique features, some with translucent skin, others with multiple eyes or wings folded neatly behind their backs, regarded Jason with curiosity and caution. Lyra stepped forward. "This is Captain Jason Marlowe. He saved my life and brought us to safety. He is to be honored as our guest and trusted ally." The council members murmured among themselves, exchanging glances. One stepped forward, a tall being with skin like deep blue glass. "A human? On Iridian? And he claims to have rescued the princess?" Jason straightened. "Yes, I did what anyone would do if someone's life was in danger. But I'm ready to help your planet in any way I can." Lyra watched him closely, clearly proud. "He is not just brave," she said. "He is clever. You will see that his mind is as sharp as his courage." The council debated for a long time, and Jason realized he was being judged not only for his actions, but for his species. Humans were unknown in this sector, and suspicion was natural. Yet despite the cautious atmosphere, the council ultimately agreed. Jason would be granted access to Iridian's defense technology and allowed to assist in planning against the Varkari. Lyra led him to a secure chamber filled with devices that Jason could barely comprehend. Energy consoles floated in midair, maps projected in holographic detail, and strange machines hummed with power. He felt a thrill of both excitement and responsibility. "These are our primary defenses," Lyra explained. "Our ships, our shields, and our war machines. You may command them if necessary." Jason's mind raced. "With all due respect, Princess, I need to understand how they work. Some of the controls are similar to human technology, but most are completely alien," Lyra smiled. "Then we shall teach you. You have already demonstrated your ability to adapt quickly. This knowledge will be useful for both our species." Days passed as Jason learned the intricacies of Iridian's technology. He discovered that human tactics, speed, improvisation, and strategic unpredictability could enhance alien systems in ways the Council had never imagined. Jason designed simulations that combined Iridian energy shields with human stealth maneuvers. He even suggested reorganizing some of their ground units for better flexibility during battle. Lyra observed everything, often asking questions about human strategies and reasoning. "Why do you humans rely on improvisation rather than pure power?" she asked one evening as they watched the twin suns set. Jason shrugged. "Sometimes power isn't enough. Plans fail, enemies adapt. Humans survive by thinking fast and using what we have. Intelligence can beat strength if you use it right." Lyra nodded thoughtfully. "I see. Perhaps that is why you survived the city attack. You did not rely on luck, you relied on thought and courage. The bond between them deepened, built on trust, mutual respect, and a shared goal, the defense of Iridian." Jason realized that Lyra's determination to repay her debt was not just about gratitude. It was about partnership. She wanted to learn from him and he wanted to help her, blending human ingenuity with Iridian's advanced technology. One evening, alarms rang across the palace. Jason rushed to the main console with Lyra at his side. The Varkari were approaching again, this time with a fleet larger than before. Their energy weapons glowed in the distance, cutting through the planet's atmosphere. Jason quickly assessed the situation. "They're testing our defenses, looking for weaknesses. We need a strategy fast," Lyra nodded. "I trust your judgment, Jason. Tell me what to do." Jason instructed Iridian's forces to deploy in unexpected formations, using the terrain to their advantage. He coordinated strikes with the palace's energy cannons, placing units in positions that human tactical thinking suggested, but the Iridian had never tried. The first clash was intense. Varkari machines moved with precision, but Jason's strategy created confusion in their ranks. Iridian forces struck from multiple angles, forcing the invaders to retreat temporarily. Lyra watched the battle with awe, seeing her people empowered by Jason's ideas. After the skirmish, Jason and Lyra walked through the palace gardens, where glowing plants reflected the soft light of the setting suns. "You've done more than just save my life, Jason," Lyra said quietly. "You've given my people hope. You've shown that humans can make a real difference, even in ways we could not imagine." Jason smiled faintly. "I'm just doing what I can. But your people are brave and capable. I just help them see their own strength differently." Lyra's eyes shone. Then my debt to you is not simply for your courage, it is for your mind, your ability to think and your willingness to act. I will stand by you, Jason, and together, we will protect Iridian. Jason felt a surge of pride and responsibility. Then let's make sure this debt leads to victory, Princess. The Varkari won't wait for us to be ready, they'll strike again bigger than ever. The next days were filled with preparation. Jason trained Iridian's troops, combining human tactics with alien methods. They learned to anticipate enemy attacks, coordinate energy-based weapons with stealth operations, and improvise during unexpected circumstances. Lyra fought alongside her people, demonstrating leadership and courage. Jason was impressed, not just by her skill, but by her unwavering determination to honor her life debt. Late one night, while reviewing battle simulations, Lyra turned to Jason. "Do humans often fight for others without reward?" she asked. Jason thought for a moment. "We do it for survival, for our families, for our friends, sometimes for honor, sometimes just because it's the right thing to do." Lyra nodded, clearly pondering the answer. "Then I understand you better now. I see the value in courage without expectation. That is why I am determined to repay you, not because I must, but because it is right." Jason felt a quiet satisfaction. This was more than heroism. It was partnership, trust, and mutual respect. The alliance they were building was not only between humans and Iridian, but between two ways of thinking, human ingenuity and alien advancement. As dawn broke on the following day, Jason and Lyra stood on a high balcony overlooking the city. Smoke from previous battles rose in pale trails, but the city itself still gleamed under the light of the twin suns. The Varkari threat was not gone, but now, with combined human and Iridian tactics, there was hope. Jason clenched his fists, ready for the challenges ahead. "They'll come again," he said, "but this time we'll be ready." Lyra placed a hand on his shoulder, her golden eyes fierce with determination. "And we will face them together. For Iridian, for humanity, for the future." Jason smiled faintly, feeling the weight of the responsibility but also the thrill of purpose. They had survived the first attack, learned to trust each other, and begun to blend their strengths in ways the galaxy had never seen. And he knew deep in his heart that humans could indeed make a difference even on a planet far beyond their own. The stage was set. The debt had been acknowledged, the alliance formed, and the coming battles would test both human ingenuity and Iridian courage. But Jason Marlowe and Princess Lyra were ready. Together they would prepare for the Varkari's return, and prove that even in the face of overwhelming odds, hope, strategy, and determination could triumph. The Varkari threat loomed larger than ever. From the observation tower of the Iridian Palace, Captain Jason Marlowe watched as the enemy fleet approached the planet's atmosphere. Dark ships moved like a black tide, their energy weapons glowing ominously. Jason's mind raced, calculating angles, analyzing weaknesses, and imagining tactics that would give them the upper hand. Princess Lyra joined him, standing tall despite the tension. "They are stronger than before," she said, her voice steady. "But we have learned from the last attack. You have taught us well, Jason." Jason nodded. "We've trained your forces. They're faster, smarter, and ready to adapt. But we need a plan that surprises them. We can't fight the same way twice and expect victory." Lyra's golden eyes reflected admiration. "Then let us surprise them together. Show me your strategy." In the palace's command chamber, Jason arranged holographic models of the battlefield. Iridian forces could hold the city, but if the Varkari landed troops, they could be overwhelmed. Jason proposed a plan that combined Iridian firepower with human tactics, ambushes, deception, and rapid mobility. He assigned Lyra to lead a specialized unit capable of striking deep behind enemy lines. "This will be dangerous," Jason warned, "but it's your chance to prove Iridian's strength and to honor your people." Lyra smiled faintly. "I have no fear. My people have no fear when we fight for our home, and I will fight alongside them." As the Varkari fleet descended, Iridian's energy shields flared to life, creating a dome of light around the city. Jason and Lyra coordinated every movement, issuing orders to ships and ground units. Beams streaked across the skies as the first clash began. The Varkari fired relentlessly, but Jason's strategies worked. Iridian units moved unpredictably, striking from unexpected angles. Lyra led her squad through a hidden canyon, cutting off Varkari reinforcements. She moved with precision, using both her alien abilities and human tactics Jason had taught her. Her soldiers followed, inspired by her courage and Jason's guidance. On the battlefield, Jason noticed something unusual. The Varkari commander seemed to anticipate their moves as if studying them. He realized the enemy had adapted, learning from previous encounters. "They're not just attacking," Jason muttered. "They're observing, analyzing. We need to stay one step ahead." He ordered Iridian ships to feign retreat, luring Varkari units into a trap. Ground forces hid among the crystalline towers, ready to strike. The plan required precise timing and trust, but Jason's confidence in Lyra and her soldiers made him certain they could succeed. Meanwhile, Lyra faced her own challenges. As she navigated her squad through the canyon, Varkari patrols appeared unexpectedly. Using stealth and careful coordination, she outmaneuvered them, striking quickly and retreating before reinforcements could arrive. Her bravery and intelligence impressed Jason even from afar. Back at the command center, Jason monitored the battlefield, issuing orders in rapid succession. He combined Iridian energy weapons with human improvisation, sending small units to distract, setting traps using terrain, and predicting enemy movements with almost impossible accuracy. The Varkari were forced to scatter, their formation broken. Amid the chaos, a Varkari strike team attempted a direct assault on the palace. Jason realized the danger too late for a simple defense. He activated an emergency sequence, redirecting energy shields to create a barrier around the palace. Beams struck the shields with tremendous force, but they held. Lyra, sensing the emergency, raced back with her squad, reinforcing the defenses. Jason's mind raced. "We need a counterattack now," he shouted. He deployed a small strike force, combining human-inspired tactics with Iridian speed. They emerged from the shadows, targeting the Varkari ship's weak points. The sudden maneuver caught the enemy off guard, disabling several key vessels. Lyra's squad moved in perfect synchronization. Using precision strikes and rapid mobility, they disrupted Varkari land forces, cutting communication lines and scattering troops. Jason watched in awe as Lyra's team executed his strategies flawlessly, blending human reasoning with alien ability. Despite the success, the battle was far from over. A massive Varkari ship, larger than any before, descended directly toward the city. Jason knew it could destroy the palace if not stopped. He calculated trajectories, energy output, and potential weak points, formulating a bold plan. "Lyra," he called, "we need to strike that ship together. Your unit will create a diversion. I'll lead the main strike." Lyra nodded without hesitation. "I will follow your lead, Jason. Together, we can do this." As Lyra's squad engaged the Varkari, drawing their fire, Jason piloted a small strike craft through narrow canyons and over rivers of glowing liquid. He reached the ship's underbelly, where the energy conduits glowed ominously. With precise timing, he launched an energy disruptor he had modified from Iridian technology, targeting the ship's main power source. The explosion rocked the battlefield. Debris rained down as the massive ship fell in flames, scattering remaining Varkari units. Cheers erupted among Iridian troops, and even Jason allowed himself a small smile. Lyra approached him, her expression filled with pride and relief. "You have saved us again," she said. "Not just me, but all of Iridian. Your strategies, they work better than I imagined." Jason shook his head. "It's teamwork, Lyra. Your people followed through. You led them well. That's why it worked." The aftermath of the battle revealed the effectiveness of their alliance. Iridian forces had learned to adapt quickly, thinking creatively and acting decisively. Jason realized that human ingenuity was not just about weapons or technology. It was about perception, flexibility, and courage under pressure. In the days following the clash, Lyra met with Jason in the palace's war room. "You've changed the way we think about battle," she said. "Your methods, human methods, are as powerful as our technology. I owe you more than my life. I owe you our future." Jason smiled faintly. "Just remember, it's not about me. It's about humans showing what we can do. You've learned fast, Princess. That's the real strength here." Lyra's gaze softened. "Then let me honor that strength. I will continue to stand by your side, Jason. Together we can prepare for whatever comes next. The Varkari will not wait, and neither can we." As night fell over Iridian, the city glimmered under the twin moons, repaired and reinforced after the attack. Jason walked through the streets with Lyra, observing her people as they repaired structures and coordinated defenses. The bond between human and alien, teacher and student, ally and leader, had deepened. Jason understood something profound: courage, intelligence, and adaptability, qualities inherent to humanity, could inspire others even on alien worlds. Humans were capable of more than survival. They could influence, lead, and create hope. Lyra approached him, her golden eyes reflecting the glow of Iridian's lights. "Jason," she said softly, "your people, they are remarkable. I will make sure the galaxy knows it. We will show that humans are not just survivors. They are leaders, thinkers, and heroes." Jason felt a quiet pride. He had begun as a simple explorer, following a distress signal, and now he stood at the center of an alliance that could change the fate of an entire planet. "Then let's make sure the galaxy sees it," he replied. "But remember, Lyra, we're not done. The Varkari will return, stronger and smarter. We need to be ready for them." Lyra nodded. "Then we prepare. Together." The bond forged in the heat of battle, the alliance between human ingenuity and Iridian courage, was now unbreakable. Jason Marlowe had not only saved a life, he had become a symbol of human potential, demonstrating that with intelligence, bravery, and determination, humans could stand against any threat, even among the stars. As the twin moons rose high, Jason looked out over the city, feeling the weight of responsibility but also the exhilaration of purpose. This was just the beginning. The true test was yet to come, and he knew that with Lyra at his side, they could face it. The alliance had been proven in battle. Trust had been established, and humanity's remarkable ability to adapt, think, and act had once again made the impossible possible. The palace of Iridian gleamed under the twin suns, yet beneath its beauty, tension simmered. Captain Jason Marlowe studied the city's map, tracking the rebuilding efforts after the recent Varkari attack. The citizens worked tirelessly, repairing structures, strengthening defenses, and training troops under Lyra's guidance. "Jason," Lyra said, approaching him with a concerned expression, "there are whispers in the council. Some members are not pleased with your influence and my reliance on human strategies." Jason frowned. "You mean someone's plotting against us?" Lyra nodded. "Yes, they see your ideas as a threat to tradition. They think we should return to old ways, rely only on our technology, and dismiss human input." Jason ran his hand through his hair. "Political betrayal is worse than any battlefield. On the field, you see your enemy. Here the danger comes from within, and it can ruin everything we've built." The next day, a meeting of the council convened in the palace's grand chamber. Jason and Lyra entered, facing a group of elite Iridian leaders. The discussion began with praise for their recent victory, but tension soon surfaced. Councillor Zevra, a tall being with deep violet skin and piercing eyes, stood. "We must question the wisdom of following human guidance. Captain Marlowe is clever, yes, but he is not Iridian. He does not understand our history, our culture, or the ways of this planet." Lyra stepped forward, her voice firm. "Captain Marlowe saved my life. He has trained our forces and led us to victory against the Varkari. His strategies have proven effective, and I trust him." Zevra's eyes narrowed. "And yet you place a human over Iridian tradition. This will cause dissent among our people. What if the Varkari return and we are weakened by internal divisions?" Jason calmly interjected. "Respectfully, Counselor, ignoring effective strategy because of tradition can cost lives. You have seen the results. Trust isn't about where someone comes from. It's about what they can do to help protect your people." The council murmured, some showing agreement, others frustration. Jason knew the seeds of betrayal were growing. Whispers had already spread, encouraging factions to resist change and question Lyra's leadership. Days later, during a routine defense inspection, Jason discovered unusual energy fluctuations. Certain shield generators had been sabotaged, leaving gaps in the city's defense grid. Alarmed, he traced the tampering to one of the council members. "Lyra," Jason said quietly, "someone on your council is working against us. They've weakened key defenses. If the Varkari attack now, the city could fall." Lyra's golden eyes widened. "I will deal with this. Thank you for uncovering it, Jason. We must act quickly." Together, they devised a plan to expose the traitor without alerting the entire council. Jason applied human tactics using surveillance and deception to monitor suspects. Lyra coordinated loyal council members, creating a network of trusted allies. Their investigation revealed Counselor Zevra had secretly communicated with the Varkari, hoping to weaken Iridian and seize power. Jason felt a chill. A betrayal from within was far more dangerous than an external threat. It undermined trust, morale, and strategy simultaneously. Lyra confronted Zevra in the council chamber. "You have betrayed your people," she said, her voice cold and commanding. "You sought to aid the enemy for personal gain. Your actions end now," Zevra sneered. "You trust a human over your own leaders. You will see that this trust leads to ruin." Jason stepped forward. "No, your betrayal ends now. Iridian will survive because we act with intelligence, courage, and unity, not selfish ambition." Zevra attempted to flee, but Lyra's squad intercepted him. The council watched as the traitor was restrained, his schemes revealed. The room fell silent, then erupted in cautious applause for Jason and Lyra's decisive action. The betrayal was a harsh reminder. Victory required more than fighting enemies. It required foresight, adaptability, and unwavering trust in those who shared your mission. Jason realized humans excel not just in battle but in diplomacy, investigation, and understanding motives. These skills were now as critical as any weapon. In the days that followed, Iridian strengthened its defenses further. Jason trained new recruits, ensuring that all units could act independently and adapt quickly. Lyra took personal responsibility for her council, reinforcing loyalty and trust. Together, human and alien strategies merged, creating a formidable defense. By the end of the week, the Varkari returned. This time they encountered not just shields and weapons, but an intelligent, coordinated force ready to counter any attack. Jason's human ingenuity combined with Lyra's leadership and Iridian technology had created a new kind of strength, one that no single enemy could easily overcome. As the twin suns set, Lyra stood beside Jason atop the palace balcony. "You have done more than save my life," she said softly. "You have saved Iridian, and you have shown us that courage and intelligence together are unstoppable." Jason smiled faintly. "We've done this together. Humans may be clever, but without you and your people, none of this would be possible." Lyra nodded. "Then we continue together. There will be more challenges ahead, but I now trust in you completely, and I hope you trust in us as well." Jason felt a rare warmth in the cold reaches of space. This alliance, built on mutual respect, skill, and courage, would endure. And as the Varkari fleet receded into the distance, he knew the coming battles would test them even further. But now, nothing, not even betrayal, could break the bond they had forged. The Varkari forces had regrouped, stronger and more determined than ever. From the observation deck of the Iridian Palace, Jason Marlowe watched the approaching fleet with calm determination. He had analyzed every possibility, every strategy, and every risk. This battle would decide not only the fate of Iridian, but the strength of the alliance he and Princess Lyra had built. Lyra stood beside him, her golden eyes focused on the horizon. "They have brought their full strength," she said. "But we are ready," Jason nodded. "We've learned from every attack. We know their tactics. Now it's our turn to surprise them." The battle began as the Varkari ships entered Iridian's atmosphere. Energy beams lit up the skies, striking at the city and its defenses. Jason coordinated attacks from both land and sky, combining human unpredictability with Iridian precision. Lyra led her elite squad on a daring mission to disable the Varkari command ship. They navigated through narrow canyons, avoiding enemy patrols, and struck at the ship's weak points. Her soldiers moved with grace and efficiency, executing strategies Jason had taught them. Meanwhile, Jason piloted a strike craft, launching energy disruptors against key enemy vessels. His human ingenuity turned the battlefield into a chessboard, anticipating enemy moves and countering with creativity. Each maneuver demonstrated the advantage of thinking beyond raw power. The Varkari commander realized his fleet was in danger and attempted a concentrated assault on the palace. Jason deployed a combination of shields and decoy units, splitting their forces and preventing a direct strike. He coordinated with Lyra via a secure communication link, adjusting strategies in real time. As the battle reached its climax, Jason and Lyra executed a synchronized maneuver. Lyra's squad created a diversion, drawing the command ship's attention while Jason's strike team targeted its energy core. The ship exploded in a brilliant flash, sending shockwaves across the battlefield. Remaining Varkari units panicked and began to retreat, Iridian forces pursued, ensuring no enemy ships escaped. The city's citizens cheered as the last of the invaders fled. Victory had been achieved not by strength alone but by intelligence, adaptability, and teamwork. In the aftermath, Jason and Lyra addressed the people of Iridian. "This victory belongs to all of you," Lyra said, her voice strong and confident. "Human ingenuity and Iridian courage together have saved our home. Remember this alliance, for it will guide us through any future challenge." Jason added, "Humans have learned from you, and you have learned from us. Together, we are stronger than any threat. This is proof that courage, intelligence, and cooperation can overcome the impossible." The city celebrated for days. Repairs continued, defenses were strengthened, and the bond between humans and Iridian deepened. Jason had become more than an explorer. He was a symbol of what humanity could achieve: courage, innovation, and leadership in the face of adversity. Lyra approached Jason as the celebrations wound down. "You have honored the debt, Jason. Not just my life, but the future of Iridian." "I am forever grateful," Jason smiled. "It wasn't about debt. It was about doing what was right and proving that humans can make a difference." Lyra's eyes shone with admiration. "Then let us continue together. The galaxy is vast and there are many challenges ahead. With humans as allies, Iridian will not only survive, it will thrive." Jason felt a surge of pride and purpose. He had begun as a lone captain answering a distress signal, and now he stood as a leader, strategist, and symbol of hope. The human spirit, resilient, intelligent, and courageous, had been tested on an alien world and had triumphed. As the twin moons rose, casting silver light over the city, Jason looked toward the stars. The universe was wide and unpredictable, but one truth remained. Humans, with their creativity, courage, and determination, could face any challenge and emerge victorious. Lyra stood beside him, her presence a reminder that alliances, trust, and respect could bridge even the greatest differences. Together, human and Iridian would explore, defend, and flourish among the stars. And the galaxy, vast and full of unknown dangers, would never forget the day a human captain saved a princess and helped forge a new era of hope and unity.